Hi, friends, brothers, and sisters. I'm Anya, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. Today's gospel is from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verses 1 to 5. And here in our gospel, Jesus is with his disciples, and they pick the grains and eat them on a Sabbath day. And the Pharisees see this, and they ask Jesus, why are he and his companions doing what is unlawful on the Sabbath? So in Jewish tradition or in Jewish practice, the Sabbath day was a day of rest. So people weren't allowed to work. And included in that was harvesting. And that's what Jesus and his disciples did. They picked the grains and they ate them because they are hungry. And so Jesus reminds these Pharisees about the purpose of the Sabbath, or even the purpose of tradition in general. So I grew up as a Catholic, and that meant I learned all the Catholic traditions, Catholic practices. And growing up, I never wondered why I should do these things or wondered what they mean. I just did them because that's what I was taught to do growing up, or because the church says so. Or yeah, basically I was just doing them for the sake of tradition. But as I grew older and started to also build a personal relationship with the Lord, I began to question many things, and not from a place of doubt, but just a place of curiosity. I was seeking answers to the purpose of things. Why would we do these certain things, or what are they meant to serve, or what do they mean to us? And so included in those questions were questions about church traditions, Catholic church traditions. And so I questioned, why do I have to go to Mass every Sunday? Or why is confession important? And it was because I was seeking for these answers that I got a deeper understanding and a deeper appreciation and conviction for these practices. And I realized that they're there because they help me worship and love God. And so, again, Jesus reminds us today that that is the purpose of the Sabbath. That's the purpose of church traditions, to help us love God. If someone were to ask you why you practice or why you follow the practices of the church, would you be able to explain it without mentioning church tradition? What are your personal reasons for following the practices of the church? Jesus also mentions the story of David, how he went into the house of God, took the bread of offering, and shared it with his companions. And at the time, it was also unlawful because that bread was only allowed for priests to eat. And Jesus is sharing this because he's sharing that David knew what God wanted, which was to love God. And that extended to loving his companions, serving his companions, feeding them because they were hungry. And this act of love rises above the tradition that only priests were allowed to eat this bread of offering. And lastly, Jesus also says that he is the Lord of the Sabbath. The Sabbath was created for us to rest in God, to love God. Our traditions were meant to help us love God. If it hinders us from loving God, why would we do them? Why would we follow them? So again, I'd like to ask, what are your personal reasons for following the practices of the church? And how can they help you love God in a more personal way? If you've been blessed by this short reflection, remember to like and share Pathways of Hope to your friends and loved ones. Again, I'm Anya. Thank you, and God bless you.